Hey, you guys. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. So, you guys, so much has transpired over the weekend concerning Allison Holker, her former husband, Stephen Twitch Boss, their daughter, Wesley, who is not biologically Twitch's daughter, but he raised her from the time that she was literally she was like 1 year old when he came into the picture and he started raising her. Allison has started receiving a ton of backlash ever since she did this interview with People magazine. She has a book coming out where she is divulging into a lot of information about her now deceased husband, Twitch, that the public didn't know about. Twitch is very well known due to his accomplishments in the dance world. He is a world renowned dance artist. He is one of the best dancers out there. If you know him, you either know him from the dance community or you know him from being on Ellen. He went from being, the dancer Twitch to DJ Twitch on the Ellen DeGeneres show, where he was known for, having $1 million smile, his great personality. He is known for positivity. That is what his legacy is, just positivity. Well, he's been deceased for 2 years now. Allison is in a new relationship. She has a book coming out. And in this book, she has put pages from his journal. The details, it alludes to him being essayed by a male family member when he was growing up. Now, these are things that Allison herself has said she didn't know about. Allison says that he was struggling with addiction that she did not know about, that she found things in the closet that, she had no idea he was going through, alluding to she found drugs in the closet. She said she didn't know about this addiction. She said she didn't know about this situation that happened when he was younger with this male family member. These things, she come across after he passed away through his journal. Now she's putting pieces of his journal out into the public. She's getting a ton of backlash, and from his family, from their manager, not only Twitch's manager, but her manager as well. They have the same manager. The manager has spoken out against her as well and basically said, "You've always been a problem. I put up with you because of him, because I loved him so much. I got you deals and I helped make you what you are today, for you to now turn around and ruin his legacy." She made his family sign NDAs just to go to his funeral and to view his body. So over the weekend, her daughter Wesley spoke out in defense of her because Allison is getting hammered publicly, not only by Twitch's family, but by the general public. She's getting hammered. So it led to Wesley speaking out. We're going to watch that video. Another video has come out. This is a leaked video by Twitch's brother, where Twitch's brother was on the phone with Allison about this NDA, saying, like, you made his own mom sign an NDA. And she's like, yes, I did. And I'll do it again. So we're going to watch this video that's been published by, I think it's his brother that put it out. Then we're going to watch Wesley's video, because Wesley's video, she actually says, my mom never said he was an addict. My mom never said that. You guys are taking a headline that was exaggerated and running with it. And my mom made everybody sign an NDA because she didn't want pictures leaking. She wanted to protect Stephen, which is kind of ironic. She wanted to protect Stephen, but now she's the one leaking all his dirty secrets. She's the one airing all his dirty laundry. And one of his family members said, it seems that she wanted to make sure we could not talk about Twitch. That way she could be the only one to talk about him, and she could be the one monetizing his story. And I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. And you have to think about this. Twitch's mom gave birth to him. She's not going to go view his body and take a picture of it to leak it on the internet. She's not going to do that. Like, if you feel like you're not going to do that as his wife, do you really think his mother is going to do that? Probably not. So we're going to watch a few videos, and it's getting crazy, you guys, with the amount of people that's come out to talk about Allison. And not only that, but Allison is in this new relationship with this guy named Adam Edmonds. He owns his own tech company. He's very financially well off. Come to find out, it looks like when Allison got into a relationship with Adam, he was still married. He's actually still married. He's still married. Recently, a divorce was his wife filed for divorce, but his wife only filed for divorce after pictures of Allison and Adam came out. So Adam and Allison, I guess that could be their couple name, Adamson. Allison posted a photo of her holding hands with someone, I think it was like back in September, and she didn't put a face to it. Well, then photos of them leaked, like leaving dinner. And it was right after that that Adam's wife went and filed for divorce. Now, on Reddit, there are people like tearing Adam up. Also, people on Reddit saying, I worked at his company. And yeah, him and his wife were together. They were together when he started dating her. So there's so much coming out with this, you guys. And Allison is not looking pretty right now. She is not looking good. So on Hollywood Unlocked, it said Stephen Twitch's boss's brother exposes alleged conversation of Allison Holker addressing his family signing an NDA. And Allison says, yeah, I did it. I'll do it again. So let's take a listen.
I got you. I got that. I told you, girl. Make his mama sign an NDA. I told you. To see his body. Listen to this. Listen. You actually think that it is cool to make his mama sign an NDA to see his body?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my God.
I would do it again. I would do it again every single day for the rest of my life if I needed to.
To see his body.
Again and again and again.
Why would she need to sign an NDA to see his body?
It's great. But also, I don't understand how y'all don't understand that Stevens even asked her to do it.
He didn't ask her to sign.
I would do it again. I would do it again every single day for the rest of my life if I needed to.
You hear that? You hear that?
So, and this is not him saying, you made his extended family sign NDAs. This is, you made our mother sign an NDA. And she said, yeah, you're right, I did, and I would do it again. This is his mother. This is the woman that birthed him, that took care of him, that took him to school, that took him to all his dance classes, that gave her all to help him chase his dreams. If you yourself as his wife, as much as you love him, you feel like you can view his body and go to his wake, and you're confident enough in yourself that you're not going to leak any of his photos in his funeral because, of him and his casket because of how much you love him, then you have to know, as involved as his mother was in his life, she's not one of those moms that would do something like that. Twitch's mother has never put herself out there. Twitch's mother, she's not out here doing interviews. She's not out here on red carpets. Like, she's always, I didn't even know who she was until recently. There's some celebrities that who their moms are because they're out there. They put themselves out there with their celebrity child. His mom's never done that. She's never been one to try to profit off of her son. So she's not one of those moms that you would have to worry about really doing that.
Why would she need to sign an NDA to see his body?
Great. But also, I don't understand how y'all don't understand.
I got your ass. I told you.
He
didn't ask her to sign an NDA to see his body. I'm
also,
saying.
Did anyone ever tell you?
What's this? In a party, an NDA for a party, NDAs for a party.
And asking his mother.
So what we're going to hear now is her saying, yes, I did. I'll do it again. But she says, Twitch had his own mom sign NDAs for a party that she came to. And here's the gist of that. When they would have parties, like gender reveal parties and things like that, birthday parties, yes, Twitch would invite people and he would have them sign NDAs and put their phones up. That way photos of, the gender reveal party didn't leak and things like that. It didn't leak before him and his wife was ready to put it out there. So he made everybody sign an NDA, and it was one of those things that's like, hey, send it all out to everybody on the invite list, have them sign an NDA. His mom would just sign it. She never felt any type of way of because everybody got one to these parties that they were invited to, these intimate parties of baby, gender reveals and things like that. So his mom she's like, yeah, sure, whatever. I guarantee you, if Twitch's manager would have been like, hey, do you really want me to send one to your mom to the gender reveal? He might would have thought about it. He might would have been like, my mom, no, don't worry about it. It was just one of those things where it's like, hey, everybody on the invite, they, we need them to sign an NDA because they're coming to a gender reveal party, or they're coming to this party where we, that's completely different. And I feel like if it would have been brought up to Twitch, even back then, like, hey, are you sure you want your mom to sign an NDA to this gender reveal? He might would have been like, well, actually, no, you don't have to make my mom sign one. But his mom would sign them, because she never really had a problem with it. She was not one that was going to speak anyways about what was going on in their house. But that's what she said. Well, Steven had her sign NDAs. This was not a situation to where Steven's like, okay, we're having a gender reveal party this weekend. Mom, we're having a gender reveal party. You're invited, but I need you to sign this NDA first. No, it was literally one of those things to where his manager or his publicist or whoever it was sending out the NDAs to everyone on the invite list. And it wasn't really thought in depth of like, I'm having my mom sign one. You know what I'm saying? But she's using that as an excuse of, well, Steven had his mom sign NDAs for parties. So he even made her sign NDAs, which is still completely different from your mom signing an NDA for a party to his mom signing an NDA to see his body, to go to his wake, his funeral. That is still completely different.
No. It's not the same thing. I have had the NDA to go to the funeral. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I just said Stevens asked her, have to sign an NDA. No. Did you know this?
That's different than signing an NDA.
No. That came from Steven.
I'm asking you would never post a picture of Steven in the thing.
He just said she would never post a picture of Steven. That's what he just said. The volume goes in and out, but the brother just said she would never post a picture of Steven.
Right. Picture of Steven in the casket, right?
Yeah, but I'm also in the industry, and I know that. And also, I don't know all the people that were in that wake. By the way, because you're asking this question trying to set me up, I didn't know the people that were invited to that wake.
No, I'm not trying to set you up. I'm asking you. You would never post a picture of Steven in the thing, right? So if you say you wouldn't, why would you think that Connie would do that? That's what I'm asking you.
I was also going off of. Did anyone ever? I was also going off of advice from people. So I don't know. I've never done this before. I don't know why everyone expects me to have done this before. But also.
And now she throws it off on to other people when he's like, you wouldn't leak a photo of Twitch, would you? Or Steven. So what makes you think his own mother would? What makes you think Connie would? Well, then it's no longer. Well, Twitch made her sign NDAs. Then it's, well, I was going off, the recommendation of other people. Other people told me I should do this. So she's got all these excuses, none that, in my opinion, matter.
Just so you know, by the way, meanwhile, do you know that Steven has asked Connie to sign an NDA before? This was not her first time signing an NDA. I don't know if you knew this.
I mean, I've signed NDAs before. I think it's more.
Connie had to sign an NDA to go to one of our parties. Did you know this?
That's different than signing an NDA.
No. That came from Steven. And Steven wasn't like, don't make my mom have to sign an NDA. No. Connie had to sign an NDA for Steven to come to a party, and Steven asked her to sign it.
Allison, I'm saying.
I was also going off of advice from people. So, I don't know.
So that's her there saying, yes, I made his mom sign an NDA. I did it then. I would do it again. She has no regrets about it. She doesn't think that it was wrong. And her main concern, as you can hear in this conversation, is she was scared that someone would take a photo of him. She was scared somebody would take a photo of him and leak it to the media. That was like her main concern. When you really have to ask yourself, his mom's not going to do that. Do we think his mom's going to put a photo of her deceased son out there to the public? No. Hey. So now we're going to watch. Yeah, there's no way she can justify this. It really isn't. And two, she has this really condescending tone when talking to Twitch's brother. She has this very condescending tone. Did you know? Well, Steven made her sign an NDA to come to a party. Did you know that? Very condescending tone. And I'm like, this is your late husband's brother, who he was like this with. Twitch was so incredibly close to all of his family, not just his mom and brothers, but to his cousins. Like, he was so close to everyone, his whole family. Like, he was just so close to them. And so this is, I mean, your late husband, who you claim to love so much, and you're talking to him when he's just trying to really understand, like, why would you make mom sign an NDA? How do you think that made her feel? How do you think Twitch would feel? Do you think Steven would really feel like his mom, there should be some stipulations put against his mom to see his body? So let's listen to Wesley, because Wesley, her 16-year-old daughter, got on social media today, over the weekend, and she talked about the situation. And one thing that was really ironic is she kept calling him Steven. She did not call him Dad. She kept calling him Steven. And when I was live the other day and I was trying to just kind of, I said Twitch's mom, Connie, despite everything happening, despite the fact that Allison has refused to let the kids see her, that when Wesley's birthday passed a couple of months ago, Connie still posted a photo and wished Wesley a happy birthday and was like, "We're always in your corner. We got your back. Like, we love you." She still posted a happy birthday post for Wesley, despite the fact that Wesley, like, is not her biological granddaughter. And what I was trying to say is I wasn't saying that she shouldn't. Because I kind of got some like backlash in the comment section from people being like, there are no steps and halves, and like he adopted her, so she shouldn't see Wesley as any different than his biological kids. And I'm like, yes, in a perfect world where everything is perfect and nobody lets their emotions get to them, yes, absolutely. But in reality, when you look at the situation in totality now of what has transpired, I was just saying, like, you got to give it to Connie for, despite what's happening, still treating Wesley, still loving Wesley, and continuing to treat Wesley like her granddaughter, right? So I got this comment. There was one like real comment that was like really like kind of at me, because I was like, good on her for sending a shout out and happy birthday, despite what's going on, and despite the fact like that technically it's not her biological grandchild. She's continuing to hold Wesley to that standard, just, despite how Allison is treating her, despite how Allison has not let her see the kids. She could get mad and be like, you know what? That wasn't even, she could. I'm not saying that it would be right. Or now here's the thing, to the person that said that was like, there are no steps, there are no halves. In this video, Wesley calls him Steven. She's never like my dad. So I'm wondering how that person that commented is going to feel about now the 16-year-old referring to Steven as Steven and not Dad. He raised her from the time she was 1 year old. I was just trying to make a point of like Connie, like good on Connie for, despite everything happening, she's sending out a happy birthday post and really going all out. She did not even say my stepdad. Exactly. She did not even say my stepdad. So I was just trying to point out, that Connie made that post, and there was nothing in that post that Connie said that would have even led me to believe that this was not her biological granddaughter. Everything that Connie said in it would be something that a grandmother would say to her grandchild. There was nothing that Connie even said in that birthday post that would lead me to believe that there was any contention between her and Allison's mom, or that anything was even wrong. That birthday post was so like, we love you, we're in your corner, like the sky's the limit for you, la-di-da-di-da, right? And so I was just saying, like, because everything that's transpired, Connie could be like, I'm only concerned about my biological grandkids. And that person was like, he adopted her, when come to find out, I can't find anything that says that he did adopt her. I can actually find, where she's the stepchild. And she actually says, like, he raised me from the time that I was 1 year old, but I do have my biological dad and I do have a relationship with him. But anyways, let's listen to what she has to say. A lot of people calling her out for referring to him as Twitch. I'm sorry, you guys. I have a son that loves Stitch. So I'm so sorry that I keep saying Stitch. That is something that I say on a regular basis in my house. But a lot of people calling her out for being brainwashed by her mom. Like, your mom has you brainwashed. You shouldn't be her mouthpiece. This is manipulation. Now Allison is using her minor daughter to spew lies and blah, 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 blah. So she's getting a lot of people backlash for this. Let's listen. And it is kind of long, so bear with me.
Okay. I've never gone live on this account, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Okay. Basically, I don't know like how many people are going to join, but I was going to talk about things and like I'll get the backlash for it, but I just feel like things needs to be addressed, and I'd rather it come from me to defend my family than like anybody else, just because I feel like it's important. But like my stepdad's been gone for 2 years and I'm still getting hate comments and a lot of articles are coming out, and I just don't like, it's just complicated and for no reason, because this is like not just a social media gig, like this is literally my life. And I don't know, I'm so sick of getting hate comments and like seeing my mom get hate for literally losing the person that she loves. And like I have siblings, like this is their dad, this is who they're gonna grow up, and like they're gonna see all this on social media. That's so hurtful. So I just felt like,
but I'm like to that where she's like, this is our life. They're gonna grow up and they're gonna see what everybody's saying on social media. And I'm like, but you want to know what social media will be saying about their dad? How great he was, how amazing he was, how his light shines so bright. That's what the whole world will be saying about Stephen. And they still will. But now it's clouded with these allegations of abuse and him being essayed and all. His legacy now does have a lot of negativity clouding it. And it was put out there by your mom, by your sibling's mom. So the whole world saw Twitch in the most positive light as possible. And that's what your siblings could have grew up to have seen. Everything that they could have Googled about their dad would have been great. And that's the honest to God's truth. If this wouldn't have happened and she wouldn't have put this book out and she wouldn't have put these secrets out, as they would have grown up, Twitch's kids, and would have Googled their dad, they would have seen, pictures of their mom and dad happy together. They would have seen pictures of him, articles about him and how great he was. And even stuff regarding his death, it would have been like he was just such a great person. It didn't make sense. Now, when they grow up and they look up about their dad, they're going to see all of this of, allegations now that she cheated, because there has some stuff has come out that Allison, like, I don't know, had a relationship with one of Twitch's friends. And I'm kind of, at first it said she cheated on Twitch with him, but then throughout the article it said that she dated him right after he passed. She dated Twitch's friend right after Twitch passed away. So there was like kind of two different narratives that was being that I thought I heard. Manuel, I don't remember his name. I have to look into it, but photos of them came out not long after Twitch passed away. So she's saying that this is her first time, diving back into the dating pool and finding love. Yes, Allison is sleeping with Emmanuel Acho. That's who it is, Emmanuel Acho, who was really good friends with Twitch. And photos of them leaked just months after Twitch passed away. And Emmanuel and Twitch were like BFFs. So she's like, I didn't think I could, find love again. When in reality, this is not her first time dating someone. So let's, I'm just like, girl, you really are not looking at this. Honestly, Allison is so wrong for allowing her 16-year-old daughter to get on the internet and make this video. Because I understand the girl wants to defend her mom, but this is the internet where it's no holds bar, where people don't care. Like, I'm not going to get on here and drag this girl, but people will. This is the internet. And you're going up against like one of America's like sweethearts. Granted he was a guy, but like Twitch was one of America's sweethearts. Like everybody loved Twitch. And now you have this girl coming out, defending her mom, who everybody's clearly mad at. So now you're a target, and your mom allowed you to be a target. When you went to your mom and you say, you know what, I think I want to speak out, your mom should have said, absolutely not, babe. no, I don't want you to do that. You're going to get a ton of backlash. And even if you don't, you may get some mean comments. And I don't want to put that on you. I don't know. You just be a teenager. You just live your life as a teenager. I can handle what I have coming because I set myself up for it. I knew by speaking out and putting a book out, I knew that I was going to possibly get some backlash. And I can do that. I'm built for it. It's fine. You continue being a teenager. You don't worry about this. So Allison is like so wrong for allowing her daughter to put this video out. This is my opinion. Because this girl ended up deleting her Instagram, from my understanding. She deleted her Instagram. Why? Probably because she started getting so much hate and so much mean comments. And so many people telling her, you're brainwashed, you're manipulative just like your mom and all these things. And how is that going to affect her mental health now?
I'll take it upon myself to like clear things up because that's just how I am. Like, I would rather things be handled than for it to just like leave the internet in a spiral. Like, it's so annoying to me, but basically I get that my relationship with Steven seems complicated, but this man raised me my entire life, like my entire life since I was 1. And through that, like, I have a biological dad. I have a relationship with him, but Steven was my person. Steven was the person that like raised me. And when I address him as Steven, I know that like y'all know him as Twitch, but like that was my dad. Like, I'm not gonna address him by his stage name.
Then why don't you address him as dad? Why don't you say my dad? Because guess what? So I was watching other videos about this, and someone was like, you know what? Right after Twitch died, it was like 48 hours after Twitch passed away that Allison removed the last name Boss from her Instagram page. And it was a couple of weeks after that that Wesley did. That she had the last name Boss as well, and that she removed it. And it said, here's the thing. Allison and Wesley, they were all about Twitch, Steven, dad, posting photos, capitalizing and getting that clout off of Twitch, Steven, dad, when he was alive. They were all about it. Like, she called him dad. She called him dad in the posts, in the videos. She called him dad. But now that he's not here, all of a sudden, it's Steven. So that is weird to me. Like, I have a stepdad that raised me that to this day, I refer to him as my dad, which is kind of crazy because I have another stepdad that my mom has since gone on to marry. But I have my biological dad. I have a stepdad that raised me from the time that I was 8 till I was 17. It was such a good human being, is the best man. And I still refer to him as my stepdad. And him and my mom have not been married since I was 17. I'm 37. My mom married another man that is also a stepdad, and he's a great guy. They got married when I was already like 29. So I'm not like dad, but I will tell people this is my stepdad. But I could never imagine like posting photos with my dad, calling him my dad, building a following off of who my dad is. And then when he dies, I remove his last name from my page. And when I talk about him, all of a sudden it's his name and it's not dad. It doesn't make sense to me. It really makes me feel like it was not genuine to begin with. If you can switch so quick, then was it ever genuine?
But he literally raised me. And I don't like, it's hurtful to see people like not diminish who he was, but like there's so many new stories, and it's like through all the family stuff and just like it's just so much more complicated, and I don't even know how to explain it well, and I hope that I'm like gonna address everything perfectly, but it's like, this is my dad. This is not like a joke to me. And like for 13 years my parents were together, and for 13 years he was the person I would go to about everything. Like, he's the person I would cry to. He's the person like he'd wake me up every morning, we'd get breakfast. He's the person that I would see when he came home from work. We lived in the same 4 walls. Like, and now I'm getting hate for him leaving, and I don't get it. Like, it's hurtful. And
she says, that they're getting hate for him leaving, but that's not really the case, because when he passed away, I remember so many people sending them love and prayers. I remember so many people being like, I can't imagine how Allison is feeling. That was her soulmate. They were such a beautiful couple. You could see how much they loved each other. Like, I remember when he passed, like, everybody sending them prayers and just feeling so bad. The reason they started getting hate initially was when word came out about the NDAs. People was like, that's kind of weird. And now that more information is coming out, you're not getting hate just because he left y'all. He passed away and left y'all here. That's not what it is. It's because your mom made people sign NDAs to protect his legacy, but now she is the one ruining it. She is the one putting all of this out there, you know? So
I guess I'm like trying to describe a relationship because I see people saying that like it's not my place because I'm not his biological daughter, but like he never made me feel like anything besides his daughter. And I mean, that I just think it speaks for who he was. And nobody's sitting up here trying to bash him. Like, he was a good person. And also, recently I've been getting a lot of comments about how I changed my Instagram username. And I never had access to my social media. He was a pretty strict parent, but like a couple months before like I started getting access to it, but I was never adopted. I never had the last name Boss, and I know my siblings do, but I don't. And my last name, my legal last name isn't even what I like is my handle. It's just my middle name because I don't go by Boss or my last name. So, and I never have, but that was just
well, according to what I saw, there was another video that said she did have Boss on her social media and she took it down after he passed away. So maybe that creator is wrong. That could be the case. I don't know. It's down now, so I couldn't check anyways. And she allegedly removed it right after he passed.
it's just like we were addressed as the Boss family, like that's what it was. And that like I had that Instagram handle since I was a child, like a toddler, and that's just not me. And so yeah, I can get the hate for changing it, but like for instance, like my mom never had hers as Boss. My mom's always been addressed as Allison Holker. Besides when they were like together, it'd be like
No.
Mr. and Mrs. Boss. But they
Okay, I wasn't paying too much attention, but on social media, her name was Boss. She addresses removing her name. So Allison's was Boss on social media.
had completely separate like careers, and they were addressed completely like separately. But yeah, when we were all together, like I had siblings, we were the Boss family. Like that's the name that my siblings are gonna have, and that's what they're gonna carry on. But even Steven's family, like his parents, they don't have the last name Boss. But basically, I don't know. I'm trying to like get all my ideas together about what's like appropriate to say and like what's not going to get me in trouble because like I'm just trying to address things, but like I'm still trying to be respectful to everybody. And I'm just so over like for instance his family. Like everyone's headlining right now, like, and these are big players into my life. This is big players into my siblings' life, but and my mom's life, and literally like these are all people that I've grown up with, and to see them now act different for social media, it's like I don't know. And I'm trying to be respectful, but
I hate that that's the way that she's looking at this, as his family's being different for social media. Like, no, they're just speaking up.
I just think it's complicated because I speak to Steven's moms. Like my mom and her were speaking weekly at some point, and I don't know if it's still like that. Like me and my mom haven't talked about it, but since Steven died, I feel like I've seen his family more than when he was alive. We would only see them once or twice a year, but you guys have to understand that it's because they live in another state. Like, and things happen. Like we literally live in another state, and it's not like we're neighbors. It's not like we could just see them whenever we wanted. And now like my mom's constantly making the effort so that the kids are a part of, or not the kids are a part of their, wait, I was about to mess up my words. So the kids are a part of their lives. And my mom's the one making that effort. I don't make the effort, but that's just how I am. I feel disrespected by them, so I'm not going to talk to them. There were points where like the brothers would reach out to me, like my uncles and Connie, they'd be texting me, but I don't talk to them anymore.
She just said my mom makes the effort for them to see the kids, but now she's literally going right back behind that saying they call me, they text me. So clearly, okay, if they're going to make the effort to reach out to you, you have your own phone, your own device. So they're texting you, they're calling you. I'm sure they're calling and texting your mom to check on your little siblings. So that proves right there that your uncles, Connie, tWicth's mom, you literally just said, my mom makes the effort. And then you go, I don't make the effort. They reach out to me. They reach out to me. Well, I'm sure they're reaching out to her too in regards to the little ones.
I feel completely disrespected. They've gone on social media saying that blood's thicker than whatever, and that's a direct dig at me and my mom. And if you don't see me as Steven's daughter, that's cool.
You ain't even calling him dad.
Like, take it how you want. That I know for a fact that's never how he saw it, and it's literally just hurtful. I've seen Connie, like I saw Connie for like a birthday lunch, and Cameron's seen my siblings a couple times. We've gone brunch with him.
She is literally like, if they don't see me as his child, that's fine, but that's how he saw it. You're not calling him dad, and you're not calling Connie grandma. So Connie made this post going all out. I love you. The sky's the limit. You can do anything. We got your back. We always got your back. Never once said anything to insinuate you were her step grandchild, adopted grandchild, whatever. And you're not even calling her grandmother.
And he plays video games with my brother. I know that. I hear them sometimes. But then D, the other brother, they've gone ice cream together. But once again, these are things like that I've slowly started to remove myself from because they don't make me feel comfortable. And my mom's the one making the effort and feeling like it's a need and a necessity to see them because she cares. That's like, I don't know. Everyone's pushing for this narrative that my mom's not trying or the kids are being withheld from Steven's family. No. No. I've literally seen them more than when Steven was alive. But when I did see them, when Steven was around, like, it was cool. We were a family, but it was like we lived in different states. We saw each other for big events, like birthdays and family reunions, gatherings, like stuff like that. And it was, but like now looking back on it, like, it just seems like, I don't know. Everyone's making things such a bigger deal than it actually is. And I just don't like that the narrative is that my mom's a bad person for things that she's actively trying on, but yet they refuse to speak about it. So what's the point in that? Because I know that they don't see me, but that's my choice. My mom's literally pushing for the kids to be able to see them whenever they can. But you guys lie about it. So like, I don't get it. Also with another thing, just going back, I've gotten a lot of hate comments because this is me, just a personal thing, but like, I don't have a perm. I just like, I'm sick and tired. Like, I literally, guys, I'm gonna take it as a compliment, but I don't. That's all. But because also, Mom, you can get mad at me, but I need everybody to go and look up when she was on Dancing with the Stars, or not Dancing with the Stars, So You Think You Can Dance, and she had curly hair. Now this girl, she gets Brazilian blowouts, so her hair's straight. Because also you have to understand, we were born in Utah. Like, they don't know how to take care of curly hair there, right? So over COVID, when I got all my hair cut off, then it started being healthier because it was fried. But I don't want those hate comments. I'm sorry. Like, dog somebody else for it. But please, I'm sick and tired.
I'm honestly like, she's getting hate comments about her hair, and I mean, it stresses her out a little bit because in a serious conversation about what she's talking about, she brings that up enough to say like, Oh, and by the way, like, I get so much hate comments about my hair. This is my hair, you guys. So Allison, your daughter, who is already kind of feeling some type of way because she gets hate comments about her hair. Now you throw her out to the sharks to do this video. You allow her to do this video where it's going to be way more than about her hair. People's going to be really going in because it's the internet. And unfortunately, people do that. Like, I'm not going to sit here. I'm going to direct everything at Allison. Like, the girl, like, she's 16. She shouldn't be doing this. She's going to side with her mom. That's just what it's going to be. She lives with her mom. That's who has the most influence over her. So she honestly is on she is honestly on there believing what she says. She thinks what she says is the truth. And so, you can't blame her. It is 1,000% her mom's fault. But if she already struggles with the comments about her hair so much so that in a serious conversation like that, she wants to acknowledge it, say, guys, this is real my hair. I don't want the hate comments anymore. And now she's talking about a topic like this, that she's going to get so much more than that. Like, you should be ashamed of yourself, Allison. She should never have been a part of this.
I think that's what most of my comments are, actually, but I'm sick of it. That's it. I'm sick and tired. But I don't know. Like, what else is there to speak about? I'm thinking, because with the influx of comments that I'm getting, y'all make me mad. Y'all make me so mad.
I love her hair too. That's the thing. Is like, I love her hair. I think it's beautiful. And like, I don't know if her mom necessarily put her up to it, but she's 16 years old. Her parents are celebrities. I feel like when you are the child of celebrities, it's a known thing that, like, before you post anything, it has to go through your parents. Like the Kardashian kids, I'm sure Northwest, before she posts anything, she's like, Mom, is this okay? Because you got to make sure something isn't said in the background, or they don't say something that is out of line. So when you are a child of a celebrity, everything that you post and everything that you're going to say on social media, like, you go to your parents about it. You got to make sure. So I'm sure she went to her mom and was like, I think I just want to do a live and just kind of talk about things from my perspective. And her mom should have said, no, stay out of it. You're a child. I don't want you to be a part of this. Like, I know you have your feelings about it, but this is the internet. The internet is cruel. People on the internet can be cruel, and I don't want you to get that hate. So I don't know if her mom necessarily put her up to it, but her mom knew about it and allowed her to do it, which is not okay. And reposted on her page.
I can talk about the NDAs because that's a big y'all love to argue over that. Y'all love to argue about the NDAs. Basically, not backstory, because like that's what the whole story is, but in one day we had an open casket like viewing for Steven. We had a funeral, and then we had a wake. And my mom asked for NDAs to be signed when we were seeing Steven's body, because God forbid.
Let me back up. I missed that.
An open casket. Y'all make me mad. Y'all make me so mad. What else? I can talk about the NDAs because that's a big y'all love to argue over that. Y'all love to argue about the NDAs. Basically, not backstory, because like that's what the whole story is, but in one day we had an open casket like viewing for Steven. We had a funeral, and then we had a wake. And my mom asked for NDAs to be.
Okay, so one of the family members said that was not true, that they had the viewing of the body, and then it was like 3 weeks later. He was like, girl, we did not have the viewing and then the funeral the next day. It was literally, you could view the body. Whoever was going to view the body got to view the body, and it was 3 weeks later. So yeah, I think she's confused on that because one of the family members called her out on that.
And my mom asked for NDAs to be signed when we were seeing Steven's body, because God forbid somebody that went to that took a photo of Steven and put it on the internet, or you know, shared it with somebody else. That's the type of things that NDAs are for. It's not.
So I know I'm interrupting this a lot, but the people that got to view the body were not all the people that got to come to the funeral, right? So the people that got to view the body were only like those super close to him, direct family, like immediate family, like mom, brothers. Like it was not. So the thing about it is those that got to view the body were more than likely not those that would even consider, even think about taking a picture anyways. And allegedly, exactly, allegedly, the NDAs did not say just that. Allegedly, the NDAs, and that's what I'm wondering. Like, did you read the NDA? Do you know what all the NDA entails? Because all the other family members have talked about how they're not allowed to talk about Stephen, how they can't share any part of Stephen's story, that she's trying to silence them in regards to Stephen. So the viewing of the body was not a big event. Like it was very small group of people, those very close, super close, closest, those closest to him, if they wanted to view the body, nobody that would probably even consider taking a photo. So let's continue.
Not so you can never talk about Stephen. You can't ever talk about, you know, you grieving him. You can't post about it. That's not what it is. And for all the people saying it, I just feel like you're uneducated. I'm sorry, but like truly, I'm fed up because NDAs are so important. And if you guys don't agree, that's cool. I'm grateful for my mom making sure that everybody signed NDAs and she put up that rule. But also, regardless, some people didn't even sign the NDAs. And my mom was lenient because she understands at the end of the day, like, this is family. So y'all want to disrespect her. And she's still nice. She's still kind. She's still forgiving. But you have to know, like, even when Steven was alive, people that attended our events, they would have to sign NDAs. But now, just because it's my mom handing the paper, y'all, like, it's different.
No, it's different because the reason everybody's mad is because she made his mom. And there's a difference between signing an NDA to come to an event versus a mother signing an NDA to go view her son's deceased body. That is a whole different ballgame. That is a completely different thing. Absolutely, completely different thing between going to an event and for a mother who carried this child for 9 months, raised him, took care of him, helped him chase his dreams, to then be told by his wife, who's only been in his life for however many years, like, you can't see him unless you sign this. And she says some people didn't even sign on, that she was lenient. Well, who was that? Who was the people that said, I really don't know? Exactly. And a funeral is not an event. A funeral is not an event. So who was those that said, I don't know if I really want to sign them? And she was lenient with. Because according to the family, they're all talking about how they all had to sign them. So was it some of your people that you were lenient with? Was it some of Allison's people that they were like, really? And she was like, okay, I guess not. I'm curious who she was lenient with.
And it's just annoying. It's just annoying. Like, for that whole day was supposed to be beautiful. And instead it was less than that. Like, we were gonna say our goodbyes, and instead people were yelling at each other and bashing my mom. And like, that's a day that's taken away from her, and she can't remember it as being the day that we all wanted it to be because his family was making it otherwise. And like, when I say that this day, like, it's imprinted onto my brain, like, one, because I had to say goodbye to the person that I loved and valued, but then on top of that, I'm having to deal with seeing my mom go through so much. Like, it's a different type of hurt because these are people that we're supposed to love and value, and yet they're constantly doing things that make me see them as like less. Like, they're the ones impacting that image, but they're also the ones taking onto social media. So I just don't get it, because my mom's been respectful. My mom's kept her P's and Q's, and I'm just not. This is like built up of 2 years worth of stuff, and like, oh my gosh, literally, oh my gosh, I just can't. But with that whole NDA stuff, y'all can see it however you want to, but I just think it's beyond unnecessary because an NDA is required. It's a necessity. And it's important because it's just a day like that is so vulnerable. It's so sentimental. And if you guys can't put yourself in the shoes to be somebody that's responsible for not making sure that something like a photo of Steven or those emotional conversations don't get leaked, you just have to put yourself in somebody else's shoes.
Okay, so yeah, you're worried about a photo being leaked and emotional conversations being leaked, but your mom is now the one putting everything out there, outside of a photo of Steven, which maybe that's to come. We don't know. Like, we don't know if that'll come later on in part 2 of her book. We don't know. Like, the emotional conversations, is that detailed in the book? It may be. I wouldn't be shocked if in Allison's book, she's like, so the day of tWicth's funeral, I had a conversation with my good friend where she said X, Y, and Z. Your mom is putting it all out there. The one thing that she hasn't put out there is a photo. So why does your mom have the right to share whatever she wants concerning her life with Twitch, but his family can't say anything? It's just not fair.
Shoes. Like, I just think that's important. And because this is all through his screen, like, I just feel like people aren't doing that. And, you know, it's beyond me. But who knows? I've also got comments because, how do I explain this? Connie and my mom, very cordial. I don't know. I get that she's always gonna side with her sons and stuff, but she's very nice to my mom. My mom is very nice to her. Like I said, they were talking weekly. My mom sends photos of the kids and what we're doing, and I mean, like, it's just so, like, confusing because she just, like, doesn't say when things are lies that are on her page, you know. Instead, she'll, like, be hearting things or stuff like that, which is like, okay. But, like, a big thing is, like, people claiming, or I don't know where it started, but I'm constantly getting comments being like, your mom didn't let Connie see the body for 3 weeks and something like that. But it's like, everybody who wanted to see the body had access to that information. My mom didn't want to. My mom, she stayed.
Remember the video that we listened to earlier where Twitch's brother was like, you made our mom sign an NDA before she could see the body. So her saying she had access to the body, she could go. No, she could not unless she signed the NDA. She had to sign the NDA first.
Get out of that. My mom didn't want anything to do because that's a traumatizing thing. And so somebody else had that information to go and see Steven's body from after he died until he was like, you know, like, they fixed up how he looked and stuff. But until that point, I remember, like, conversations being had of, like, Connie asking about it, but then everybody, literally everybody, being like advising against it because that's your son, you might not want to go see him. But with that all being said, she could have completely on her own terms gone and seen him. My mom wasn't withholding information. That's like, but she's not going to speak out against it. So I don't know. Also, going back to everybody that's, like, trying to get a headline right now, I guess it's hurtful because y'all were considered Steven's friends, and I'm not trying to be too direct because it's literally a whole conglomerate of people, but I mean, all the posts and stuff and all the, like, the long captions and whatever, like, as his kid, I'm seeing this, like, y'all are throwing direct blows at my mom and trying to make it seem like their relationship was something that it's not. But at the same time, like, you can call yourself Steven's friend, I guess. But if you knew Steven and my mom's relationship, like, you think that would be okay with him? I don't know. Like, I don't know. A lot of these people are on their high horse, and I genuinely, like, Oh my gosh. Literally, like, this is what you guys don't understand is my mom is so nice when it comes to this social media stuff. Me personally, I'm on a live. I'm talking about it. Like, I'm so annoyed. And like, you guys can call yourself Steven's friends or say that you were in his life to whatever degree. Me and my mom, like we lived with him. We saw him every day. And a lot of these people speaking out now weren't even around. Barely. I don't even really remember you. I can't put a name to a face, but I know your name. Like, that's the type of separation we had. Like, that's how not around you were. And I don't know. It's just so.
My very best friend, thank you so much for dropping in, Proven Demons. Thank you so much. Hopefully this year. But my very best friend that I've been best friends with since like 3rd grade. You guys, if you are longtime subs of mine, y'all know Ashley. She has moved away. We don't see each other, but maybe like 2 or 3 times a year. But that is my very best friend. If something happens to me, nobody better be like, well, I never saw her. Yeah, but that is still my ride or die. She is like my sister. Unfortunately, sometimes in life, like everybody just gets busy. Like Ashley had to move away from here. You know, she is a recovering addict. She can't move back home because those are triggers for her. So she doesn't come home that much. But when she comes, every time she comes to see me. I never go to where she's at, like because it's kind of far away. But just because you, his child, like his stepchild, adopted child, whatever, you did not see him with this person. He was gone a lot for work. Like, it doesn't mean that they were any less than what they are saying they are when they're talking about him now. Like, oh, that was my best friend. That was my brother. Thank you. Thank you. So just because you're like, I remember a name, but not necessarily a face, that does not mean that when they're on there saying this was we were such good friends, that they're lying, you know? I mean, think about it yourselves, like your own kids. Do they know how close you are with some of your friends? Like if you were to ask your kid, hey, do you know so and so? Like, is that my friend? They might be like, like, so it's not fair. Eric Lee, I am looking into that. I am definitely looking into that. I heard about that. So I'm definitely looking into that. I think she's selling her business now. So let's continue.
Like all these people for what? But it's just, I don't know. Because also at one point in my life, a lot of these people speaking out, I'd be like, oh, like that's my uncle, that's my aunt. Now, I don't care. Like, you're weird. Like, I don't speak to any of them anymore. And it's just disappointing, honestly, because for them to be like, oh, one, my mom gets called a murderer. They say that she's money hungry. They say that she needs more fame. My mom doesn't, like, that's not how my mom is. I trust me when I say my mom is good. Like, she doesn't need that. And it's just disappointing because the people that Steven was truly closest to, the people he held in regards to being his best friends, we talk to every week. The holidays just happened. I've seen all the people that I care about and need to see. So if you weren't seen, it's probably because you're like, in some ways, like you don't deserve to have us around. And my mom's made her efforts. She's tried for as long as she could. But this is the kind of turning point where it's like, this stops. Like it's beyond just like trying to maintain a relationship now. It's like y'all burn bridges and literally it's okay. What else? I think right now everyone's bashing my mom for also my mom never said that Steven was an addict. Let me say
false. Hang tight. Hang tight. My mom never said that Steven was an addict.
I had dealt with an ex that had addiction problems, and then I realized Steven had addiction problems, and it's something that I kind of have been like, where was I involved in this? And I had to take some steps for myself to realize, like, you know, I was able to help one, and I wish I could have been that for the other. But it's also not my job to do that. There was
also later on in this same video, she said that she realized that because Steven was Twitch and Steven were two different people. Like Twitch out there was just loud and, you know, smiling and a people person, but that's not who he really was. So at home, he had to recharge, and that was difficult for him to be that at home. He was Steven. He was very quiet and mellow, but out and about, he was Twitch. And, you know, so she said he was two different people, and that for him to do that, it was difficult for him when he would come home and he had to recharge, right? And she said she realized he was self-medicating. So she talks about dealing with addiction with Steven and him self-medicating. So clearly, like, she did say that. She did say that she was dealing with addiction with Steven. So, unfortunately, her daughter, I don't know. It's like, did you watch your mom's interview? Because she did say that.
Say that. Never said that he was an addict. But if y'all want to take a headline for a news article and turn that into being the thing that you're paying attention to most, that's literally on you, right? But in our house, how he ran things, like, I'm his kid. He was trying to like teach me and educate, like, obviously, like, be that fatherly role, right? So he'd be open and vulnerable about him smoking weed. Also, my mom's not calling him a terrible person for smoking weed. Like, guys, let's get.
You're right. What your mom is saying, she found things like mushrooms and what else? I mean, it wasn't just this marijuana situation. She said, like, oh, he would come home and after the kids go to bed, he would go out and he would smoke marijuana, and that I was fine with that. She acknowledges that she knew about that. She absolutely said that he had an addiction problem. She said she found other things in his closet that she did not know about. So she definitely alludes to it was something more than just marijuana.
Get it together. But when you have 2 years after somebody committed suicide to sit here and question every interaction you had, every single thing they did, obviously my mom's like, maybe I should have paid more attention to him smoking a lot of weed. Maybe that was a sign. That's not my mom saying that he's a terrible person. And if people if they're going to stop being fans of him over my mom saying that he smoked weed, you aren't a fan. Like, that's all. My mom, like, she's not like, oh my gosh, he's awful, he smoked weed. That's not the narrative. That's not what my mom said. And I don't know, guys. Like, oh my gosh, these were open conversations, but like Steven was so ashamed about how much he smoked weed, where he would go and like smoke weed behind our pool house, like, but he would talk about it. So it wasn't something that was like a red flag at that time. And even like him going on an ayahuasca, is that how you say it? Ayahuasca? I don't know. But I know that it was a big deal to him because it brought up a lot for him. And I think also another thing that's a big part of Steven's story, and I don't even know if my mom touches on it in her book. Like, I briefly talked to my mom about the book, but I don't know everything, and I haven't read it yet. But a big part of Steven's story that a lot of people don't know is Steven's stepdad committed suicide. And that's something.
And guess who has not said that? Guess who has not come out to say, I lost my son the same way I lost my husband. I lost my brother the same way I lost my stepdad. As a 16-year-old, like, I don't, like, you shouldn't be doing this in the first place, but here you are putting out somebody else's story that's not yours to tell. Like, the family has not put that out there to my knowledge. Which I'm not watching all of their posts or whatever, but when Twitch passed away, his mom didn't say, like, this is the same way I lost my husband. Suicide has affected our family and, multiple times. Like, so why are you putting this out there?
Something that stayed with him his entire life. He would talk about how much it impacted him. And I think it was hurtful when he left, because now I'm in the same position that he was in. And my mom and Connie alike, they're widows from suicide. And I just think a little bit of love and grace goes a long way. I know my mom says it, but like, that's a big thing. And
where's the love and grace at Twitch's family? With literally, it's been said that since Twitch passed, Allison has not let Connie and Twitch's family see the kids. So where's the love and grace there?
And that's like a childhood trauma that, take it from me, like the person that's in the same situation that Steven was in, it's a big deal. And I have so much empathy for him because of it, but like, I'm realizing how much he went through and how much, like, it's important to reach out and get your resources and go to therapy. And for years, Steven was doing that. And I don't know really like how healed he was in his own journey, but like, that's a big deal. And like, I don't know, suicide's a whole, it's unfortunate. Like, it sucks. But I mean, also, I just feel like all of this drama is unnecessary, because frankly, at the end of the day, regardless of what's tit for tat back and forth, we're never going to get Steven back. He made a choice, and that's really unfortunate. And like, I'm going to think about it for the rest of my life, but he committed suicide, and that's something we're never going to be able to bring him back. And to just not, for people to be so disrespectful after his passing, it's like, how do you maintain like the balance of loving somebody and then also like trying to move forward and like be peaceful? Like, it's like how you guys see everything isn't what it actually is. And while I'm talking about people, actually, there's this one person I really don't like, and his name's Nelson Diaz. But I just want to let everybody know the type of people that are on Steven's family side. Like, Nelson, I know you were getting sued for you were getting sued. It was a lawsuit by Steven. Like, Nelson used to be Steven's and my mom's manager. And like, literally, the lawsuit never ended. You are getting sued. And yet you have such a big mouth on social media, and you're getting out of your lane. Like, you are. And a lot of people are.
Can you imagine a 16-year-old on the internet telling a grown man who's in the entertainment industry, who manages celebrities, to the point that he got Twitch and Allison, obviously their talent got them where they are, but he got them their deals. He got Twitch on Ellen. Like, he got them, like, all these deals. Could you imagine a 16-year-old telling this man, you're getting out of your lane? You really are. Like,
and to be a kid that's such an observer, who was always around, who literally, like, I looked up to Steven. I was his like little sidekick. I listen to everything. I pay attention to everything. And I get that I'm just a kid. Y'all can take that and call me childish or immature in whatever degree you want. But I'm also just like, I've always been around. I pay attention to everything. I have my own opinions about everything. literally none of this is navigated by my mom. I've always been raised to be like independent. And so when I'm saying that I don't like somebody, I'm saying that I actually don't like you because of the things that you've done to me. So
what has Nelson done to you though? Like, how is he even going to have any sort of dealings with you? Like, I want to hear her say what he did to her. What he did is he's speaking out about your mom, and that's why you don't like him.
Take that as you want, but I don't know. I've lost a lot of respect for people, and I think that I don't know. I try to be peaceful, but I know at the end of the day I'm not. But what else is there? Like, I feel like there's I feel like that's a lot of things that get talked about mostly because I'm not trying to start any fires. I'm not trying to put out more information that there needs to be. But for simply the stuff that keeps going in circles and people keep arguing about and that are literally headlines right now, like, y'all don't know what you're talking about. You really don't. And I don't know. It's unfortunate. Like, literally, on top of losing the person I valued most in my life, I have to sit back and for the rest of my life be known to, how do I explain this? Like, I'm not trying to, like, I'm not a person to sit up here and cry. I'm not one to be here and get emotional. But, like, y'all could not just leave somebody passing away and leave the family alone. Like, oh my gosh, you guys just have to add to it for what? Like, I don't know. And it's disappointing because, like, if all of you say that you held Steven in such a high regard, like, this is not the type of family dynamic we had. And whatever y'all want to push on social media, like, I'm going to grow up saying it. Like, my siblings are going to grow up saying it. And also, they're going to have to form their own opinion of who their dad was. And we only speak about him in such a beautiful light. I loved him. I have nothing negative to say about him besides I think that he made a unfortunate decision. And, like, it's unexplainable. Like, but I wouldn't want to do that to my siblings. I wouldn't want to let people sit up here and talk about them or talk about their dad because.
And oh crap. Sorry guys. Let me get that back. And here's the thing. Everybody spoke so positively of him. Like, everybody did. Maybe it's on an ad. Everybody spoke, like, there was nothing negative about Steven out there at all until, like, your mom started putting this out there about his addiction, to which you say, my mom never said he was an addict. Yes, she did. Cut to where she was like, I dealt with one ex, as an addict, and then had to deal with Steven being an addict. So you're like, y'all don't know what y'all are talking about. But literally, unfortunately, it seems like your mom hasn't given you all the information. And you even said, I haven't read all of her book. Like, where did this go? I haven't read all of her book. I don't know what all is in her book. So you're telling us we don't know. Y'all don't know all the details when you are admitting you haven't read the book. She said it in an interview. That's where we're getting the information from. We're not taking a headline. We're taking something that she said. So nobody was attacking or talking about Allison when he died. Like I said, everybody was just sending well wishes. Everybody felt so bad for Allison and the family. I remember, like, reading comments, about the kids and stuff and how, sad it was for the kids, and nobody said anything bad. It was nothing until this came out. And now people's calling BS on it. Like, when you say he was an addict and you're taking parts from his journal that he did not even tell you. He did not even tell you this happened to me. He wrote it in his journal. And now you're taking those pages out of his journal, putting it in your book where you're going to monetize off of it. His secret that if he didn't tell it to his wife, what makes you think he would want to tell it to the world? I could never imagine my husband, him passing away, me reading his journal and finding the secret in his journal that he didn't even feel comfortable enough to tell me about it and then me telling you guys about it. I would not do that. I would never come on here and be like, so you guys know my husband died? Well, I found his journal and he said X, Y, and Z in his journal. Because I would feel like if he did not tell me, then it was something he did not want out. And I'm going to protect him in that way.
But
let's see if we can get back to where we were.
It's just, I don't know. Because also, at one point in my life, a lot of these people speaking out, I'd be like, oh, like, that's my uncle. Gosh, he's awful. He smoked weed. For people to be so and to be a kid that's such an observer who was always leave somebody passing away and leave the family alone. Like, oh my gosh, you guys just have to add to it for what? Like, I don't know. And it's just, it's disappointing because, like, if all of you say that you held Steven in such a high regard, like, this is not the type of family dynamic we had. And whatever y'all want to push on social media, like, I'm going to grow up saying it. Like, my siblings are going to grow up saying it. And also, they're going to have to form their own opinion of who their dad was. And we only speak about him in such a beautiful light. I loved him. I have nothing negative to say about him besides I think that he made a unfortunate decision. And like, it's unexplainable, like, but I wouldn't want to do that to my siblings. I wouldn't want to let people sit up here and talk about them or talk about their dad because, bruh, I'm not about to sit here and cry, but don't even play. Because if I cry, I'm going to be so disappointed in myself.
Girl, cry. It's okay.
Here's the thing. My sibling,
you know, and that's one thing that I do. Like, I'm not going to go after her. She's a kid. Everything that I'm saying is directed at her mom, but her being like, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. Showing your emotion actually lets people see that, like, okay, because when I'm watching her and I'm watching her mom talk about him, yes, it's been 2 years and I know everybody acts differently, but there's this part of me where I'm like waiting for their voice to break when talking about Steven. And when I don't hear it, I'm like, they handled it so well. Like, if my husband passed away or if my stepdad passed away, even 2 years later, if I had to do a 30-minute interview where I'm talking about him, I could not imagine going through it and never like my voice would break. I would probably cry. I would probably have to take a moment just because, and you know, everybody's different. So maybe they are just stronger when it comes to, you know, bottling their emotions. But her saying, I'm not going to cry, I'm not going to cry. Girl, that's honestly, people wants to see you show some sort of emotions because when we don't, it's just kind of like, wow, you know, it makes people question things.
Siblings, they're strong kids. And my mom's raising them to be so strong. Like, I'm already my own person, but I've been this way. They're growing up with one parent. And to see that one parent get torn down, it's crazy. I don't get it because my mom is all we have. We have other family, we have other people we can go to, but through this, my mom's been our rock. So just know that that's the type of person you're tearing down, who's been peaceful, who's kept things off of social media. And I don't know. I'm a very protective person at heart. Like, the people I hold close to me, like you're close to me. My siblings, like, that's not a joke. And my brother's getting to the age where he's able to realize things. He's a smart kid. Like, he's going to end up making these choices for himself. And I just don't want, like, social media battles to infringe on how they see their dad or how they see their mom. Because, like, I get that I'm not being attacked at the situation like I'm the kid, whatever. But like they need their mom. And they already lost one parent. Like
They not
can't lose
we.
another one. And I'm like, I'm not gonna cry. Like I'm not. But my mom's tried her best. And if y'all don't get that, that's on you. Because
not we've already lost one parent, but they've already lost one parent.
She's made all the effort she could to make sure that Stephen was held in a high regard. And articles are coming out now. She has a book coming out. But that's not to ever bash who Stephen was. It's literally my mom telling her story. And her story is also still going to continue. Like, nobody's going to stop that. And it's for the sake of, like, also, here's the thing that you guys don't understand. For 2 years, my mom was getting bashed because she's not sitting up here and crying. Like, we don't think that she loves Stephen. She's evil. Like, that's the type of things that you guys are saying. And now that she's opening up more and still being very cautious of what she says and still very respectful and being the kind widow, like, she's trying her best. And like, that's not a lot of things that other people would be able to do. Like, she lost her person. And it's just disappointing to see like people's reaction to her actually speaking out about her story, that it still holds Stephen in such a high regard, even though he's the person that left. Right? And I don't mean this to like, to be like, I don't know. But we have one parent. They have one parent. And I know that I have a biological dad, but once again, my relationship with Stephen is irreplaceable. And that's just how I see it. And I don't know, because I've tried my best to delete comments and not respond, but it led me to be on a live. So, guys. But I think that's it. I don't know how much more there is for me to say, because I'm not gonna sit here and go in circles about people that should honestly just be irrelevant in our lives. But I think the disrespect is getting to a point, and you know, whoever wants to clip this and send it to them, you got it. You go, girl. I don't care. Everything that I've said here, obviously I'm saying it to the public, and that's it. Like, that's my thoughts on them. Like, his family, that's my thoughts on everything that's happening. That's my thoughts on the NDAs. And it's just what it is, because this is my reality and y'all are seeing it on a screen. And that's unfortunate that you feel like you can put your input in. But to each their own. But I think that's it. How do I sit here and I don't really know how to turn this off? Let me see. Because, Simone, do you want to help me? How do I end this? I don't know. I'm just a girl. Hey, I'm still sick. Don't do too much.
If you work with PDFs at all, you need Adobe Acrobat.
Okay. So, okay. That was a whole lot. That was kind of insane. You know, what I noticed is the like 2 or 3 times that her voice did start to break and she did say, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry. It was in regards to her mom. It was in regards to talking about my mom's a great, like, she's a great woman. Like, she's held all of us through this. She's been there for us. Like, she lost her person. She did almost get emotional in regards to talking about her mom, but not, her voice didn't really break in regards to Stephen. Now, I'm gonna go over to Manny's page and see what he's posted. If he's posted anything. All right, 20 hours ago. The truth is out there. Don't matter what happens from here on out. The lies had to be stopped. The abuse towards his mother had to be known. The lies in an attempt to destroy his image and name had to be stopped by revealing the true identity of the person behind the mask. I don't care what anyone thinks at all. This was my friend. This was a good man that helped millions. He showed love to my children. Never wanted credit. Just a good person. It had to be done. Her people can come after me. I don't care at all. One thing that will forever One thing that will be forever known is that I proved that I was a true friend. For those that understand where I'm coming from, I love you. Thank you for standing up for what's truly right. For those that don't, God bless you, and I hope you and those you love never have to go through what this man and his family have gone through and are going through, not only behind closed doors, but now in the public. It's kind of little, so that's why I read it out to y'all. Let me see.
What's up, y'all? Good morning. I paused on some of my posts, not indefinitely, but for a very good.
Okay, let's see what he's saying. Now, this post was very interesting. The jumper says she's upset that people are talking bad about her mom, but it's okay for her to speak negative about his family. And that's what's going to make people even more upset. That's why Allison should be a mom and say, listen, child of mine, I love you. And I know you're upset that people are coming for me, but you just be a child and don't worry about this. Yeah, thank you so much for the super sticker, the jumper. I really appreciate that. And I really appreciate your comment. Okay, so Manny says, if you love Twitch, screenshot this and post it on your page, your story, everywhere. This ends today. Dear Allison, you have lied for the last time on my brother. He was absolutely no addict. You will say and do anything for $1. An addict? You are the one that was messing with Coke, Molly, and X. I have all the proof. Play what somebody say. Country boy right here. I don't give up. Every person who knew him knows you're lying and have been doing dirty crap for a long time. Should I post our last conversation? Try me. You have no idea what I have to post. Here's a few questions I have for you, though. These are wild. Why did you make his mom sign an NDA to see her son's body? Why did his closest friends and family have to sign an NDA to attend his funeral? Why did you lie at the funeral about how every day was magical? It wasn't. He told me everything. You had to try and demonize Nelson, and now I see why. You demonize anyone in his life that found out the truth about you. You will say his friends aren't friends. Which is what his daughter did, that's just what Wesley just did. She was like, all these people saying they're my dad's, saying they're Steven's best friends. I know your name, but I don't know your face. So unfortunately, it seems like Wesley's kind of, doing what her mom does by discrediting, his friends, and you will say their friends aren't his friends. You will discredit anyone that knows the truth. You are a toxic woman, and I truly believe he would still be alive had he not married you. My only regret is telling him to work it out with you for the sake of the kids. When he talked to me about leaving you, I just didn't know the full truth. Just like everyone that supports you, we were both in the same situation, married to toxic narcissists that love black men as a fetish, that will lie and cry wolf and twist narratives and so called evidence to be a victim and make $1. We didn't have our dads the way we wanted, so we persevered through the bullcrap to be the best fathers we could. Today is the last day you do this. I was contacted about a TV show last year, and after sending their condolences about me losing Steven, guess what the producer said about you? The same thing all of them say about you. You're a money hungry, lying narcissist that will play victim and say and do anything for $1. Last question. Wasn't it your gun that he used? Keep playing with my brother's name. This is the year of truth. Everything is offline, nothing off limits. And then Nelson says people aren't ready to hear the truth, or the reason we stopped working together was because I finally told her to F off with her narcissism a few days after them getting a 6-figure Cadillac deal and a free Escalade. I'm sure she told plenty of people I was evil or stole money or something, when she, in fact, was the one that was doing the shadiness. I don't care about my rep in the dance world. I was always the one to ruffle feathers, and I was good at it. I made people reach their full potential, sadly, including her. Let's see. I'm trying to get to.
What's up, y'all? Good morning. I paused on some of my posts, not indefinitely, but for a very good reason. So, I love y'all. Keep coming out the portals with the stories. And after these messages, we will be right back.
After these messages.
Whoa, let's cut that out. Where is the post that he's made? Where is it? Because I saw somebody in the chat saying that he posted some, like, oh, check out what he posted, but I'm not seeing anything. We're going to continue to follow this story, though. As more comes out, we'll continue to follow it. There is, where's that lady? Leslie Scott says she did a video as well. She's over on Instagram. I'll share it with you guys. I don't want to make this video too much longer. We're at an hour and 30 minutes, but I was going to watch this with you guys. But it's Leslie Scott says, she worked with Twitch, was very close to Twitch, and she did a video as well. And it says, disclaimer, this post and video discusses child essay and the infiltration of mental health advocacy by Allison Holker, the negligence of the mental health organizations continuing to partner with her, and her using and abusing her access to Stephen's private journal entries for her personal gain. She says, in this video, I discuss and confirm, listen to this, that Stephen's mother, Connie, was never contacted by Allison regarding his private journal entries, that they would be used, his private journal entries would be used to make allegations and claims in the recent People magazine and her upcoming book. So I butchered that, but what she's saying is, okay, Stephen's mom had no notice that People magazine, first off, the way that Twitch's mom found out that Twitch was allegedly struggling with addiction and allegedly essayed by a family member was when it came out in People magazine. Allison did not think to contact her and say, hey, I found some stuff in Twitch's journal and this is what I heard. This is what he said. This is what he wrote. No. Miss Connie was told nothing about what Allison allegedly found in this journal. She found out about it when we all did. She found out that drugs was allegedly found in Twitch's closet when we all did. She was not told that portions of Twitch's journal would be used for Allison's book. She found out when we all did. Connie was not given access to his private journals to corroborate, understand, or process the intimate details around these serious and concerning claims. Imagine you hear your now adult and deceased son was possibly sexually abused during childhood through a magazine article. This alone is trauma and a violation beyond words, and the exact opposite of how any reputable mental health spokesperson or organization would behave. As a survivor and someone who worked in essay advocacy for 11 years in the dance industry, it is my strong belief and professional assessment that Allison and her team has strategically built a platform for herself as a spokesperson for mental health and have misused and abused her power by using Stephen's pain and passing as credibility to build her brand. We call on the mental health organizations that are in partnership with Allison to reevaluate your involvement and denounce her upcoming book in any publication that reveals Stephen's private journal entries. Stephen, nothing can dim your legacy and spirit swag. I know you see us standing for you and your family the way you always stood for us. We love you. And Nelson said, preach, sis. Thank you so much, Leslie, for this. You have no idea. Leslie, we love you. My sister for life. Thank you for this. Spoken perfectly. And I do encourage all of you guys to go listen to what Leslie has to say, because she's someone that works in the mental health industry And one thing that I know just as a creator is you don't out victims. If we hear, like if somebody contacts me about a celebrity and they're like, yeah, well, I was told this, and they give me this information, and I'm basically told that this celebrity as a child was SA, and I'm their best friend, so I know about it, or I was their best friend. We're on the outs now, which is why I'm contacting you to give you all the details about their life and the juicy whatever. But yet, I'm not going to jump on here and be like, so and so is a victim of SA. That is their story to tell, and Steven never told it. Steven put it in a journal entry. He did not tell his wife. So that's not something she should be putting out. It's not her business to tell. And because she decided to, the minimum she could have did was let his family know about this in advance before she put it out there in the media. And here's something else is one of his best friends is saying that Twitch had considered a divorce, that things were not good between Twitch. So we don't know what happened. I mean, I guess we could believe that Twitch really did have this good life, but for some unknown reason, he dealt with mental health and he just went and unalived himself for no apparent reason. But, as someone that's really been digging deep into this and seeing all this stuff now coming out, I'm really wondering what happened, the night before or the morning of. Did they get into it? Was there some discussion of divorce? Because according to what his friend has said, things were not magical. That the Twitch had considered getting a divorce, and that his friend even said, work on it, work it out for the sake of the kids. So, did something happen? And it just, did Twitch find out something about Allison? Did who knows? We don't know. But really quickly, this has been a long stream, and I do apologize, but there's just so much. Here is Adam Edmonds over on Reddit. This is Adam Edmonds. This is Allison's new boyfriend. Now, backtrack just a little bit. Allison debuted Adam Edmonds 2024. Like, I think it was like September. She posted a photo of her holding hands with somebody, but she did not say a name, just holding hands. Months after that, or weeks after that, a photo of her and this guy came out. At the time that she posted the photo of her holding hands with this man, he was still married. His wife was still posting photos of him on her Facebook page. So at the time that Allison is showing a photo of her holding hands with this guy, which now we know to be Adam, he was still with his wife. His wife did not know that he was with Allison allegedly, and that's people now believe that the reason Allison did not show his face and just her holding hands was because she knew that he was still married. As of right now, he is still married. The wife has filed for divorce, but the divorce filing came after photos leaked of Allison and Adam together. At the time that the photos came out, the leaked photos, this woman was literally posting photos of her and Adam and their family together. So this is Reddit. Take it for what you want. Adam Edmonds. Allison Holker is dating tech CEO Adam Edmonds. See their public debut at New York Fashion Week. Now, it says, I love her, but I just did some digging on Adam. If he was divorced, it happened very recently. His ex-wife was still posting pictures of him this year, and her IG and Facebook profile picture has her and him in it. I work at Entrada. He posted to employees about this earlier today and said he and his wife separated summer of 2023. Someone else said, I wonder if his wife knew this. And it said, let's see, hold on. Crap. Hold up. Okay, there it is. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Oh my goodness, where did it go? I wonder if his wife knew they were separated that long. Why does I don't think she did. Where do the photos keep going? Someone else commented on there that worked there and was like, maybe I see. Maybe this will show me and it will stop. Okay. Thank you. I used to work at Entrada. I can confirm Adam is a piece of crap. Everything from screaming at female coworkers to fake crying in front of the whole company for sympathy. Dude is messed up. Yeah. It's like he sniffs the jocks of Josh James and Dave Bateman, but without the net worth to keep up, although he tries to portray otherwise. Common theme with all these guys: go to BYU, portray yourself as a stand-up Mormon, make a little money, start wearing hoodies to black tie events and stupid sneakers, bail on your wife and kids for some hot new thing that would never speak to your nerdy butt without your bank account, end up a total loser no one respects. Tools that ruin their families and their families' lives. Utah business needs to do better. Anyone else buying his 1+ year separation claim? His wife Instagram sure as hell looks like she thought they were together. It's almost as if she made her account public as a middle finger to him. If you're going to cheat and bail on your family, own it. Don't lie to your company. A middle-aged clown, cheater, and Versace and dumb sneakers. Exactly who you want to work for. It smells a little bit like she doesn't strike me as the kind of gal going for a white CEO tech guy after having been with Twitch and him still married not that long ago. She wants Emmanuel Ocho. H-O. I don't know. Amazing. Keep crushing it. Heart. And this photos of them came out not long after Twitch passed away. So not long after Twitch passed away, photos of Emmanuel and her came out of them holding hands coming out of somewhere. Okay. So you guys, there's so much going on. I do think there's obviously stuff that we maybe don't know. That the family now, they're like, you know what? I don't care. Like, I'm ready to speak on this. There's audios being leaked. I really think Wesley, her mom, needs to like not let her be up. If Wesley was like 20, 18, it would be like, you know what? She's 18, she's an adult, whatever. I would still be like 18, like it's the internet is such a cruel place. And the way that people look at this now is that Allison got her daughter to fight her battles because, nobody wants to go after a child. So she's putting her child on the front lines now. And I really think Allison, because clearly she knows all about the business. She knows all about everything. So she is treated like an adult. She gets told what's going on just like an adult. So I think she thought, I want to speak on this. And her mom treating her like an adult was like, sure, go ahead. And her mom's not protecting her in that sense because her mom has been on the internet long enough to know how the internet works and should be like, no, you're not going to go on there saying anything because I don't want you to deal with the backlash. So unfortunately, that bit them in the butt big time. There's so much coming out about Allison now, from former managers speaking out to, friends of hers speaking out, because there was Courtney, her friend Courtney even spoke out and was like, girl, I was with you when you met him, when y'all got engaged. I stood beside you at your wedding day. I was at your house the day that he passed away. And this is horrible. Like this is a money grab, that you were doing this for clout. He was not a drug addict. So many people coming out to say he was not an addict, that they are mind blown that she is saying this. And here's the thing, if he wasn't, and all it was he smoked marijuana, why is she tarnishing his legacy? For what? Really, the only thing that would make sense is to be like, well, if I put a book out just about my life with Twitch and him passing away, would people read it? Sure. But if I say that Twitch had all these secrets, then more people may read my book. There's going to be a lot more press. There's going to be a lot more chatter about my book, and people will follow me a lot more and watch all my interviews if I'm revealing his secrets, things that nobody knew, because everybody wants to make sense about why he passed away, like what was happening. And you have to say You have to know that there was nothing in his system when he passed away. His autopsy report shows there was no alcohol or drugs in his system. Thank you, Shenanigans. Yes, mental health, it is such a taboo topic, especially among men. Men, you know, they have to be tough and they have to be strong, and they can't they don't want to go to therapy and all of this, you know. And I think they should be able to. It's not everybody deals with mental health. Like and she required an NDA to control the narrative. And that's another thing is people's like, you made us sign an NDA because you didn't want us possibly one day talking about Stephen and maybe doing an interview when you could be the one doing that interview and you getting paid for it. You wanted to make sure you were the only one that had the right to tell a story so you could make the money. So you guys wonder what Ellen has to say about this. I've wondered as well. I haven't seen her say anything about it, but I am very curious. But yeah, someone that worked on the Ellen DeGeneres set who struggled with addiction said that Twitch showed no signs of addiction at all. So it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. Please teach your boys to be vulnerable from childhood. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyways, you guys, leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe. We're going to continue to keep up with the situation as more comes out. If Manny, Nelson, anybody releasing any more audios, videos, texts, I will be keeping my eye on this, and I will continue to, you know, share it with you guys. Did Allison say what kind of addict he was? It seems to me that people are connecting dots based on assumptions. I'll listen to her interview until the book comes out. No real context. No, she didn't really say what kind of. No, she didn't say what kind of addict he was in the book. I think the way that it was quoted was a cornucopia of drugs was found in his closet, ranging from shrooms to I think it's a coke. But there was, I think People Magazine like quoted some excerpts from her book. So yeah, you guys leave me your thoughts in the comment section below. Follow this account if you want to continue to keep up with this story, because we will continue keeping up with this. And I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up on the way out. That is a easy, free way to help me, is just hitting that thumbs up button on the videos that you watch. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.